we've sort of talked around Tantra quite a bit and established it historically, and pointed out that the sexual practices, while they exist within the Tantric tradition, are really a minor aspect of that tradition. What would be the essence of Tantra?
Very simply put, essence of Tantra is vital force.
Vital force.
Vital force. Also, in one of the common terms you would understand that to be is Kundalini. The essence of Tantra then is Kundalini. But I translate that into a common English term. If I were going to say to my mother or my father, what does Kundalini mean? I would say it was vital force, is what it meant.
Mm-hmm. You know, Kundalini is associated with a coiled serpent that resides at the base of the spine.
Exactly right. Kundalini refers to this three and a half coiled serpent power that exists within a human being. And its awakening and its expansion is understood as the mechanism by which fulfillment, realization, liberation, salvation takes place. Mm-hmm. Now, those three coils that you referred to, I have further elaborated, and this is traditional, into the first coil being Prana Kundalini, which is essentially the energy that powers the fluctuation of the cerebral spinal fluid within the spinal column. Sometimes I refer to it, and other people have referred to it, as the breath of life. Mm-hmm. It is this fluctuation of this energy within the cerebral spinal fluid which is considered within the tradition to be the essence of the three-phase respiration process that powers your physiology, individual physiology. So Prana Kundalini is the source of individual physiology and all that goes with it. Mm-hmm. You know, bodily functions and movement within the experiential mm-hmm. world.
In other words, the vital energy along the spinal column.
Exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
That's Prana Kundalini. Mm-hmm. The second coil is called Chitta Kundalini, and that is the vital energy of mind. That is the power by which the senses take in energy or information and structure it within as personal history, and manifest from that personal history instincts and a worldview. Chitta Kundalini.
Chitta coming from the Sanskrit word for mind stuff.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And finally, the highest level of Kundalini, the third coil, is Para Kundalini, which is the universal vital force essence of life itself, the source from which all experience is derived.
The universal life force, some kind of a cosmic force.
Let's just say it is the energy from which the whole cosmos has come forth. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, when we talk about universal life force, there is also another term that refers to that universal life force called spanda. Spanda means very, 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 very subtle vibration. Now, it's interesting that back in, I think, the very early 60s, at Bell Labs in New Jersey, there was the discovery of a very subtle microwave vibration, very subtle, that seemed to be at the time equidistant throughout the whole universe.
Yes.
This very subtle vibration was the residue of the Big Bang, mm-hmm. and the residual vibration, the vibration which the whole universe, residual of the energy that the whole universe was congealed from.
That's right.
So when we talk about universal life force, we are not really talking about energy that is different from material energy. We are only talking about it in the broadest possible sense in which this energy has, this universal energy has included in it the full range of frequencies that include matter, the highest, the most condensed form of energy, and the subtlest plasma field form of energy which perhaps exists prior to any kind of movement that might take place.
So the whole range of physical energies.
The whole range of physical energies, much broader range than we are ordinarily in any way attuned to.
Now, this is intriguing to me because you've used the term matter, and matter is naturally, it's related to the same word from which we say mother. In fact, the origin, I think, is Sanskrit. And one of the characteristics of the Tantric philosophy, as I've been educated to think of it, is that it has to do with the feminine aspect of things as well as the masculine.
Culturally, it's interesting to know that within the Tantric tradition, within the practice groups themselves, it is the only tradition that I have ever encountered, it's especially in all of Asia, in which men and women have an equal standing within the group. And in some texts, I mean, actually at a certain point in time, the feminine aspect of the Tantras, the Shakti aspect, becomes predominant, and Tantrism becomes equated with what's called Shaktism, or the worship of the feminine. So, and some texts actually go so far as to say that to be initiated by a woman guru is a superior initiation. The worship of the feminine in this case has nothing to do with gender. And we should not, current ideas about goddess worship, which are contemporary ideas, and in some instances relate themselves back to the Tantric tradition, are erroneously connected. Because basically, in this case, feminine refers to movement. Movement that gives rise to instability within the fundamental field of creative energy from which the whole universe comes forth. And this instability is the essence, the source of the exchange process, which gives rise to energy, interaction, condensation, matter, experience, form, etc.